Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where I'll start the episode off by fixing a mistake at the end of last episode. So as you can see, I kind of made a mistake here. This was supposed to be what's it called? Efficiency modules. But as you could probably hear if you listen very closely, at the end of the last episode, I had some friends coming over, or at least we had some company coming over. So I tried to hurry the episode as they came through the door, and that made a mistake of what to build here. So let's just change it around. No foul, no harm. So let's just change it to what it should actually be, and that is efficiency modules. So let's just change all of them to the correct one, and then we should be good. There we are. Oh, let's do the right one again. Let's not make the same mistake twice. So let's just do this so it looks correct. That one, and get the second one as well. There we are, and the third ones are correct. That means we can empty out all of this things we accidentally put in, and add some new request just to the mix. So there we are. We now have a ton of things stored up that we shouldn't really be needing. You'll have to be 2 as well. There we are. So now we can add in the requester chest and move things around correctly. I think that will be the best solution. Let's just do it for each 3 of them. So request, request, and request. And now we can do what we did at the end of last episode, where I kinda messed this up a small amount. Then we'll take the last one over here, and then we'll take number 2. This is completely overkill, but yeah. Then we at least have something that looks correct from every angle. So there we are. That's going to give us a ton of efficiency modules, and that means we can almost craft ourselves what's it called? Power Mark II. To be honest, we probably didn't need this much, but it's fun to have, and in the future we might be able to save a bit of power in that regard, though we are at 3.7 gigawatts of power. So we'll let this run. We will start up our research again, and then be using a bit of the resources. So firstly, let's get the rest of this filled out. Right now we are just at the bare bone of what we needed. There we are. And in the future, I think I'm going to build them in rows. So we'll do 1 row across, then do the next, to make it look a bit better than this mess we have going on at the moment. That is at least what I want to try and do. So that should cover all of this. This will cover down here. There we are. Let's connect up you. And then we should have most of this connected up the way I want. Yeah. So that is looking good. Our science is chugging along. All of this is just looking good. Almost at the next rocket launch as well. So I think it's about time we get 1 more speed. Or improve some of these easier ones to get. Maybe just removing all of the lower tier, what's it called? Research. Just to get it out the way. So we only have our infinite research left. So while this is going, let's just expand out our robot grid a bit more. We could fill most of this area with solar, because I don't want to run out of power. So firstly, I'll probably need to remove some of these, at least if we have a few of them stacked up. And we do have that a few places. You can go away, all of you. There we are. And then we can throw down the one we want, being our solar grid one. And that one's not something to fill in yet. So in today's episode, we will continue to expand out whatever we are missing. I still have a feeling that the red signs, oh not red signs, sorry, that advanced red circuits is gonna be one of the things we will have to look at. We might also want to look at a bit of steel, since that is starting to lag a bit behind. So we might actually just, for starters, beacon our steel setup and add productivity to it. So these are all running. So if you add productivity, I'm guessing the top one is one of the ones that's used the most. Let's see, 8,000, 5,000, and 4. So yeah, the most used ones are up here. So that's the first ones we'll add what's called productivity to. So let's take 2 rows. Let's take the middle one first. Let's take this one. Then we will add some beacons. Could soon do the robots, but I don't want it to go out too many places right now. Here is some speed. Same over here. That's gonna tax our system a bit, but that is not that bad. So can we just productivity this entire cell? That is kind of what I'm trying to go with. Let's go grab some more. Oh, the science is going very nice. Some more beacons. Can't have too many of those. And there we are. Then we just need the last one, and we are still getting enough beacons flown in from around the world, which is very great. And this is the power of setting up your base correctly, or making a grid one. At one point you can just start spending things willy-nilly, and things should still be working. So there we pretty much just doubled our steel production plus productivity. So that's a bit more than a doubling here, or double production. So let's have a look. I'll need a few. Let's just get you away. Probably remove the red as well. So let's get ourselves enough to craft this one. So electric engine. Let's give ourselves 40. I like to have some speed 2. I like to have some efficiency 2. That's a way too many efficiency. And then I'd like to have some low density structures. Just give me 30. Or a bit more. We can... was it 30 we needed? And then processing units, we'll need... Just give me a stack of that. So we have some for the future. So that can go away now. 2 can go away. That is still missing. Loading structure can almost go away. That means we're starting to have most of the things we need. That was the low density structures. Radar can remove from inventory. Doing a bit of spring cleaning. You can go away, and all the red can go away. Wow, the science is going very nice. Let's get some more research done. That was the last of that. Logistics slots. Those 2 will be done. Ton of things we won't need, but we could just get them removed from things we can see. So let's just remove a bit of science. Or to be honest, let's just blast through a ton of science. just to get things researched. I think that would be good. There we are. Where would you? With you and a bit more. So now we almost have our power armor, and then we can continue. And while we wait for the last few things to be crafted, let's just hook up this one. Some power to here. Let's just hook it up here so it looks good. And there we are. So I think this will look good in just a little bit, so we have the grid lines completely filled. Not having that ugly, what's it called? A grid network of or power grid. This can stay disconnected, that is fine as well. Should landfill in this just to make it look pretty. It's a bit too much. One smaller should be good. There we are. That fits in perfectly. Fit in this one. And the rest we can just kind of leave now and continue to expand up this way. Well, to be honest, talking about what I wanted to do before, we should be able to just landfill in from right here now. Because this should all be in range, so do that to cover an entire new area to add roboports to. Oops, or at least almost. We just need to cover the rest of this. There we are. Now a plan of the way I want to expand over lakes is pretty much working. This will get built, that will put in this one, and then we can do the next row afterwards. Luckily we do have a bit of landfill. Hopefully we have enough to fill out the lake. And then our base is looking quite good. So there's that. Here is our Power Armor Mark II, finally getting done. Fusion reactor. Let's just get ourselves what we needed. 50 of you. Was that correct? Or did I just completely misread that? Or read that even? And 200 of you. So we can get things moved over and get ourselves a bit more speed. Let's get ourselves some electric engines. That would be good. This is also one of the things I enjoy very much about a robot grid. You can just request whatever you want from the network and things just get delivered. Which is extremely nice. Checking on our science, we are still maxed out, or not maxed out, but we are still keeping up it seems. Might be going down a bit. This is always lacking, so let's just go and fix that with new assembly machines even. And give them productivity. And maybe even some speed. And here is some speed modules for you. Oops, that one. So now that should be producing quite a bit more. And hopefully that will solve our issues with science. Let's see, 60, 60. That's good. This is producing a lot more now that it got a bit of speed. So we might want to add modules to the rest of this as well. Might be a bit overkill, but it saves us resources in the long run. And that is pretty much all I am looking for at the moment. Did we just spend all of these? We pretty much did. So let's just fit in. Oh, did we mess up the power down here? Seems we did, so let's just help it out a bit. We will solve this in the future because we might want to redesign this at some point. It's not the most perfect design for what I want, but it is getting the job done. There we are. That should supply most of the green we need. Hopefully. Hopefully these can keep up as well. That is probably not the case anymore with the speed we have. So we will just have to monitor this a small amount. So yeah, let's leave it at this and just get things running. Oh, that went quite quickly. So now it's time to probably set up a few more things. What are we missing? It's still the steel. So yeah, we should probably start to design this a bit differently. Speed-wise, we have more than enough robots. Power-wise, we are still holding strong after we upgraded our power a whole lot. So let's get this running. We just pretty much need to increase our throughput on this and then go into, what's it called? We're getting enough in. Go into collecting a lot more resources. That is pretty much the plan. Also, let's start to beacon all of this. Don't know if this is the best setup for it, but it should give us quite fast productivity modules. If our system can handle it, I will hopefully think they can, but right now it does look like we are maxing out and emptying out our storage. So yeah, it doesn't matter if we speed it up because this can't keep up at all anyway. So that's something we have to think about. And now that I think about it, we have to put in our new power armor. Please put in you. Perfect. Let's craft ourselves. Oh, we need a few low density structures still. Just before we craft ourselves a fusion reactor. But let's put in a few things. A few legs. A single battery. Might want to change you out as well at some point. We can skip our solar panels. They are not really needed anymore when we get our fusion reactor. So let's see here. Could we go down? Oh, I'm so slow without the fusion reactor. Should probably have gotten that done before we moved to this. Just gonna go down and steal a few low density structures to get what we need. Oh, we have it now. One fusion reactor. You can go away then. Keep you for the legs. And then we actually have the power armor. That's gonna charge first before these will work. But we should get a few more legs up and running. I think that would be very wise. So back looking at our problem, being the advanced circuits when we really go completely ham. Let's wait for some science now. So is there a way to fix that? This one is getting in enough. And while I look at that, there's one thing I'll have to remember to do. Right now we don't really have that many buffer chests around the base, moving in iron where it's needed. So once in a while it just requests from far away. So let's give this a buffer chest for iron, since that is one of the inputs we need. The same with the sulfur, so let's just do that. Does have a nice surplus here. Let's give it 1,000. To have a bit stored up, so we don't request from the rest of the base. Should be able to supply up here as well. So that is actually quite good. Should we redesign things? If we look at our things here, we do have enough robot things. We have batteries being produced for the accumulators and solar. So that is also good. But I think they're just lacking steel to run at full speed. So that is pretty much what we have to do. Pretty much this setup everywhere. But I'm noticing this is gonna fill up before it can be spent over here. So if you look at the speed, it should be the same, so this should just work. So no, never mind, that is actually completely set up correctly. So let's beacon the next area. And then we'll go out and grab a small amount of iron. Because then I have beacon builds done and I can start to stamp them down. That is kind of what I'm going for the future. So we'll know we have enough as long as we continue to increase our input resources. Yeah. Green. Steel. We are missing a ton of things. Why aren't... Oh wait, sorry. You're working as fast as you can, but that is still not fast enough. So we might need a second one of these, but they cost... Let's see. Oh, we can't see it like that. Oh. But we can see it like this. 144 productivity. So that's quite a lot of resources. And I love looking at this flying in. It's such a nice sight. But it looked like our red science was lacking. It doesn't look like something that goes very fast, to be honest. But then again, it doesn't have any productivity, and it has productivity but no speed. So you might want to look a tiny bit on that in the future when we can afford it. There we are. And now my plan is complete in terms of how I want to expand out. Because now that we have this, we are able to just say, let's cover the water very, very easily. And then we can do the next row afterwards. Over here we can do a bit of solar. Just to get things running. There we are. Let's just increase this a whole lot. How much power do you guys think we'll need to run our entire base? Oh, we don't want to cover up that coal patch. So that means, yeah, that should be fine. Let's leave that coal patch right there. But as I was saying, how much power do you guys think we will need? I have a feeling that it's gonna be probably more than I think. And I think, I don't know, a few gigawatts at least, maybe. Oh, 10 gigawatts can't be enough. I don't think so, at least. And that's because I think our buildings might require like maybe 10 gigawatts just to run all of this. But as we can see right now, pretty much half our power goes to robots. So we might have to double all of our power predictions for the future. I think that might be something that could happen. So I'm still counting on millions upon millions of solar panels. But luckily, they are very, very easy to put down, very, very easy to expand. And to be honest, I can just queue 100,000 to be built and just wait for my base slowly to craft them. That is one thing I would love to try. But right now, let's set up. Why are you all the way down there? Huh. Oh, because they're trying to go that way. That's fine. So let's set up a few mining outposts in case we run out of iron in these. We don't have to worry about it in the future, because this one is emptying out at a somewhat decent speed. So let's just hook up this one. As always, things are right in the middle. Bit annoying, but nothing we can do about that. And how should we hook it up? We can just skip most things. We can skip that part. This one might be good to just take it from the top and remove the other parts. So removing that. So we have it coming in from the top, and then we can fill the rest with miners. Not gonna do a beacon one, because as we saw a few episodes ago, we can change these to a beacon one extremely easy. And right now, I just kind of want to get things filled in. So there we are. Let's just fill in a few of these. Let's copy you over a few times until we cover whatever we want. And there we go. Let's continue up this way and do the same. We'll just remove all the chests we ain't using. So let's remove all of that. Here. That one's this and that chest. I think that is pretty much what we need to remove for it to look somewhat decent. Yeah, let's keep the rest and see how this will look in the future. Yeah. But things are getting built, or let's get a few more legs than this one. It needs more speed. Probably a bad place to put that. Let's just put it up here instead. Doesn't really matter since we have a fusion reactor. Or we could do that instead. That'll give us room for a few more legs. Or move you over here even. Something like that. Now I'm just moving things around for the fun of it. Because then we can have the legs right there. Doing... Why does it feel... Oh, it's because it has 0 power. But... it should charge up in a little bit. Yeah. We'll need a bit more of battery storage before this works. But that is not the worst thing. Over here, things are looking quite good. And let's just queue up a bit more right there to do the next land bridge. And then let's hook up this. A bit of maintenance, but that is kind of what we need to do to make sure the base looks good and operates at its maximum efficiency. To be honest, down here we can just add more solar panels. Let's see, solar. Solar is fine there as well. Bit of stone here, could cover it here, skip this one and do it there. And start to fill in this. Yeah, then we'll fill that out nicely. Let's fill in these to make them look good. It's not really something you need to do, but I like the symmetry of things. when it's all placed correctly. And in the future, when we expand out, we'll try to do without making these holes in our grid. I think that would look much, much better. There we are. Oh, and let's fix this last ugly hole we have here in our base. So that should have fixed most of the issues I had. That should start to give us, give us more iron over here if we need it. And then I'll just kinda leave it at that. More stone, not really any oil, but that's not really an issue anyway. It's all about the steel, and since we should probably have an inventory more of productivity, let's get this one, this one beaconed as well. And then get ready to expand out with beacons to the rest of the factory. Because I don't really want to craft this by hand anymore. There we are. Here is some productivity for you. Here is some speed. You can go away, you can go away. There we are. Then let's get the second one productivity completely as the last thing this episode. I think that will be a very, very good stopping point for an episode that's been a lot about maintenance around the base and getting our, what's it called, beacon setups done. So we can start to stamp it around the place. And then we just need the last, what is that, 16? To be completely done. Are they getting enough charging? No. There we are. So that is looking quite good. I love that we have this much landfill. Just being able to stamp things down. And let's do this as well. There we are. Covering everything, making the robots able to fly wherever they want. That is the entire plan. So right now we're still expanding to the west. Could expand north and east as well. Just having things go into the middle here as assimilating everything in around us. A bit like the replicators from Stargate SG-1 or Atlantis even. Those are a bit of an idol. They assimilate everything. Too bad it was humans as well. But other than that, they are quite good. So, ending the episode, putting in the last few things. And then let's get the last two. I will see you in the next episode. Hopefully you're still enjoying this. I'm very much enjoying it. And thank you so much for all the comments. All of your Patreon support. So I don't have to rely on YouTube ad revenue. Which, by the way, is not good. And yeah, just sticking with me through this thing. Which is actually very, very nice. So come on, last two. I want to end this episode on a high note. This shouldn't be that far off if we look at our production. 2 is on the way out, 2 should be delivered. And there we are. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Dgray, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.